Creating a jungle or growing a forest or creating a food forest is a big effort.
So the reason for this video is to push gardeners to figure out what is the upper limit of my location. What can I do on my location? Can I create a jungle? Can I grow a forest? Can I grow an orchard? Whatever it may be. This idea of being able to grow a jungle is very interesting for somebody who wants to push the envelope a little bit on the garden that they have.
Imitating nature creates these magical atmospheres and locations.
Yeah, so every location, every spot on the planet where you're going to garden has these parameters. And these parameters are opportunities and limitations. And what I mean by that is we have so much moisture here, I can grow a jungle if I want. What am I missing? What is the limitation? We have a lack of sunlight because we're so high up in the Andes that we don't get that killer heat that you get to grow vegetables or fruits or whatever it may be. Every day is the same day, 20 degrees, humidity is really high. We have this misty rainfall that is spaced out perfectly. So I can grow whatever I want in terms of stuff that doesn't need a lot of heat. Like I couldn't grow oranges here or mangoes or anything like that.
Rainforests and jungles have this immense moisture requirement.
The next scenario is, so you have a garden, you sell it to somebody, and you come back 10 years later. And you have this, it's not really deja vu, you're just in absolute awe how big the trees are, or how many fruits are on a peach tree, or anything that has to do with time is very interesting to a gardener. And gardeners have to say to themselves, my garden will reach out into the future. Even if I'm not there, the garden is still hopefully going to be there. The fruit trees will still be there. So it's very interesting that a lot of times, especially when we get older, we chop off what we want to reach for. We don't want to grow an orchard because we're getting too old or it's too much work or whatever it may be. If there were more people in the world that said, okay, I'm going to grow a jungle, that would be very interesting to me. That would be very good for the world. When there's these places where people are pushing the envelope, what they can grow, where they can grow it, when they can grow it, all those things. If you push that envelope in gardening, the results will be very, very spectacular and very rewarding for you, for your visitors, for your friends, for your family, whoever visits your garden. It has to be a masterpiece that reaches into the future. So aiming for a jungle is a possibility. It's not a pipe dream. It's possible. These trees will, grow to whatever extent they need to grow if they have all the requirements they need. So location, location, location. What can you get away with? What can you grow that is possible in your location? A lot of times we grow plants that aren't hardy, but we try it out. We try out to grow this plant in cold climates. We do all these things to push the envelope of gardening. And I think that is very important, is you can't just be a vegetable gardener. You need to have those fruit trees mixed in.
Make sure to use everything your location provides you with. Make sure to mix in hardscapes with your plant material. Make everything work together in such a way that you don't know where the beginning of life is. It is so intertwined and so intermixed that everything grows together in such a way that it looks natural, that it looks like nature made your garden. Plant material will reward you with lush growth if you provide all the necessities it's asking for. Moisture, sunlight, nutrients, and your plants will grow. There is no two questions about it. Constant maintenance is, of course, a big factor in any garden, especially when you have this lush growth. Mixing fruit trees and vegetables and regular ornamental trees and shrubs into your garden.
That biodiversity equals jungle. That biodiversity equals food forest. That biodiversity equals self-sufficiency. So push the envelope on your garden a little bit and grow some artistic portions in your garden. Some things that are so spectacular that people can't believe that you actually pulled this off or that you grew this garden in real time.
Just remember, using plant diversity is the easiest way to make your garden spectacular. When you see this sunlight trickling into your garden, illuminating all the leaves and showing the dimensional aspects of your garden, then you know you've done a good job. The sun is getting everywhere, creating sugars for these plants. Photosynthesis is working well. Your garden is spread out, it's layered so well that everything is touched by the sun. The competition between the plants is more of a companionship that keeps everything alive in your garden. Remember, moisture is a big aspect in any type of gardening. Make sure you have enough water to keep your plants thriving. Water is the beginning of everything. Make sure your soil is constantly upgraded. Make sure you have plant diversity to allow the soil to be diverse as well. That interconnectivity of everything that you have in your garden is so important. Keep it alive and thriving. You have the ability to divide your garden into these elusive, beautiful, sacred garden rooms. You will enjoy your garden a lot more if you assign functionality to these spaces for activities and for privacy and for ease of access and circulation to allow your guest and yourself to get from A to B in your garden without giving away all the secrets that are inside your garden. Create these garden rooms and enjoy the separation and the focal points and the spaces that are different from other spaces in your garden. It makes a huge difference if you have the ability to divide up your garden and have great circulation that actually works. It makes a big difference in any garden if people know how to get from A to B and are not confused by understanding how your garden is really laid out. Make sure to use your elevation changes to your advantage. Elevation changes sure are hard work, but they do divide up the garden beautifully, especially with secret staircases and meandering walkways going through completely overgrown spaces. It makes the garden so beautiful and so interesting. Having this ability to pick fruit in between the walkways, having the ability to have flowers everywhere, stuff growing, this layering effect of canopy makes gardens such a beautiful space. Enjoying river views and having walkways that are not so obvious are very interesting in every garden.